What was it like building the business with your partner, with Robert? I mean,
that's not for everybody either.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It worked for us. I knew early on that I wanted my life partner to be my business partner. I knew that because I wanted us to grow together, not grow apart, which I see a lot of couples do because they have nothing in common. But it's tricky because you don't leave your work at home. I mean, you don't leave your work at the office. You take it home. And we are very similar in a lot of ways, and we're very different in a lot of ways. So to figure out, there wasn't really I wouldn't call it a balance, but to see where is kind of a dance. Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? Where's the real strength? And we had a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements, and most of them, I'm going to say 99% of them were about the business, not about the personal relationship, because we had different ideas on which way to go and what we needed to do and who we needed to partner with. So it's tricky. It is tricky.
But you guys did it.
We did it. Yeah, we persevered it.
I know Buckminster Fuller was one of
Yes.
your mentors.
Yeah.
Both you and Robert. And he's kind of, people don't know him. He's this like futurist and visionary, and it's amazing you had contact with him. But
I never did meet him. He was Robert's mentor, and he passed away the year before I met Robert.
Okay.
So I got to know Bucky through Robert and through Bucky's teachings.
And there's one of his quotes that you like to repeat sometimes, and it's, the more people we serve, the more effective we become.
Yes.
Which you wouldn't expect that necessarily from an entrepreneur. But tell me, why did that quote mean something to you?
Because as we're growing our business, especially with Rich Dad Poor Dad and the cash flow game, we looked at it as, how do we serve best? Learning from Bucky was all about service. He was all about making a contribution. So as I started learning about Bucky and got inundated in that philosophy, I'm like, it's not about making money. It's about, how do you serve the most people? How do you be the best contribution to humanity? So that was that was where my mind was, and that's what Robert's mind is. So the more people I serve, the more effective I become, is if we can get our message and our work out to as many people as possible, then we're going to be fulfilling our purpose and our mission. That's always been, and I think for any business owner, I say, there's three things to a business. Number one, what problem does your business solve? And two, how do people hear about you? And how do you grow it? So if you're chasing just to chase the money and get, reach the masses because they're going to give you more money, versus how do I serve these people? And if I'm serving them, the money's going to come. And it's not about do what you love and the money will follow. It's not that. It's do what you love. Where's the problem you're solving? Where can you be a contribution? Then you work your butt off, and then the money will come.
Amen. I can agree with that.
But I like thinking of making a contribution versus just selling a product.
Right.
And I'll say one other thing. A lot of people say, I really want to make a difference in the world, and I think my product or my service is going to make that difference. But they're not willing to charge money for it or really turn it into a business. If you've got a product or service and you really feel it's going to help people and help the masses, then you have a responsibility to make your business successful so that people hear about you and to get it out to the world.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest problem of my students in our London Real Academy is their relationship with money. And a lot of them have the passion, and I'm like, okay, let's solve a problem for people. What is the challenge of your customer? Now it's time to charge money, and that's when they all get freaky. Oh no, and money's dirty, it's bad, I don't like to sell. And I'm just like, wait a second. If you can charge money, you can help more people.
Yes.
And so I take a step further. I'm like, you're being selfish not to do that because you're worried about how you feel. When you could be thinking about,
I think that's accurate.
More people.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. Most people have this kind of dysfunctional relationship.
They do, especially women.
Okay.
Women have a really hard time because women think that they just need to help people. They just want to help people. And so I can't charge for that. So when we launched the cash flow board game, at that time, Monopoly was like $29.95 US, right? Well, we had gone to a couple seminars and they talked about it's easy to be the lowest price, but people will keep undercutting you. What if you're the highest priced? And we decided if somebody's going to buy the cash flow board game, we want to make sure they play it, because they call it monopoly on steroids. We want to make sure they're going to play it. So we charged $195, and this was the thing, Brian. We had to sit there and practice saying, yes, and the price is the price is the price is $190. Oh, it took a long time to say that. Right. Today, piece of cake, because I think it's worth $1,000.
Yeah.
Because I see the value and I see all the stories and I see the successes that people have had because of the game. But at the time, it was very uncomfortable to charge such a high price, but we did it. That's what we did, and it worked.